G Prospect, Wizeonez Entertainment. I'm the CEO, the motherfucking boss.
TV, bitch. It's GG the Plug 100K. You know what I'm talking about. Today we're gonna be talking about BTB Savage untimely passing. We're gonna get into his Vlad TV interview and the comments that his mom have made in this past few days. And basically just all the info that's coming out about BTB Savage. On the heels of BTB Savage being gunned down in Houston, the rapper's mother is addressing the situation that led up to his death. BTB Savage mom asked BTB Savage to brush off the taunts, don't respond. As the Shade Room had previously reported, the 26-year-old rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting on Thursday. The incident went down in Houston's River Oaks neighborhood, occurred shortly after he taunted the family of a man who was killed while attempting to rob the rapper. Specifically, BTB Savage shared a photo of him at the crime scene, posing next to a bullet-riddled door while standing in a dry pool of blood. We should also add that days earlier, he made scathing comments about the ordeal during the interview with Vlad TV. It almost seems like the editors and the people that write these blogs are on the side of the killers that murked BTB Savage. I mean, at this point, you know, it's like now social media is becoming so vicious. It's like nowadays you could just say anything and people would just come up and just kill you for saying it. I mean, it's just, it's really getting serious with the words and all these interviews is going on right now. Like, I watched the interview with BTB Savage, and I'm gonna tell y'all my personal opinion about it. When I watched it, it didn't come off like braggadocious, like everybody want to make it seem like, but it came off definitely like he shouldn't have been talking about all that. Like he definitely shouldn't have been going over the details of murdering the assailant that came in the house and basically tried to kill him and his baby mama and his kid and shit like that. He kind of probably should have, you know, not went on the Vlad TV interview. I know everybody wants to blame Vlad, but it's like anybody could have got that interview. Breakfast Club would have picked that up. Everybody would have picked it up. Gilly and Wallow would have picked it up. $1 Million Worth of Game would have picked it up. A lot of people could have ended up talking about it. Vlad just had the bread to pay BTB Savage. That he just so happened to have the money and pay for BTB Savage to come and do the interview first. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, everybody's like, oh, it's Vlad's fault. This is Vlad's first time. You're acting like it's Vlad's first time doing an interview where somebody caught a body or a rapper caught a body and Vlad's gonna interview them. He's done this before. He did it with No Plug. I mean, he did it back in like 2017 when No Plug killed Bankroll Fresh at the studio. I mean, he literally interviewed No Plug just because he caught a body. So it's not the first time Vlad did this. And y'all wasn't upset with Vlad like that. I mean, y'all had things to say back then, but at the end of the day, when Vlad did No Plug, I ain't hear all this chit chat about, you know, Vlad, you know, getting rappers killed and shit like that. This BTB Savage is really starting to hit home for a lot of y'all. And I know that it hurts and stings to know that, you know, he just got killed like that, like right after the interview. I mean, he literally got shot and gunned down after, like a week after the Vlad TV interview. So, I mean, it was devastating. And rest in peace to him. And you know, it's hard to see his mom out here, you know, talking about the things that she felt that he shouldn't have been doing. I mean, she literally goes in and says that she begged her son to take down the post. She begged her son to take down the Instagram post, to take down don't do the Vlad TV interviews. She begged him not to do it, and she felt like this was what it was going to warrant. She felt like it was going to warrant his life if he continued to keep bringing up this issue. I mean, social media is getting a lot of people clap. It got Mo3 clap. I mean, that's why Mo3 got knocked off. He got knocked off because of social media. So, I mean, social media has been taking lives left and right. And it's just that, you know, it's so impactful. I mean, you know, it's like everybody can see what's going on all at the same time. And people are able to react in real time. Unfortunately, to things that's being said online. You know what I mean? So, you know, I guess it would be wise of a lot of the rappers and the people that's coming up to watch what they're talking about in these interviews. But you can't tell no man what he can say and what he cannot say. I mean, you can't tell no man what his story is. That was B Savage story. He wanted to tell his story. He wanted to go do the Vlad interview, and he wanted to talk about how a man just came in his house, a dude that he was supposed to be doing music with. They was supposed to be doing some music, but I really think it was a drug deal gone bad. If you ask me, I feel like he just calling it music because the feds watching, and the law's watching, the DEA watching. So of course they're gonna say it's about music. But everybody know that B2B Savage, he was a scam artist. Everybody know that he was with the scamming. That's how he came up. Everybody know that he was all about that crime life. And I found out a few things when I was reading about him. I found out, he was in the military for 4 years. And I found out that, he had joined the Army or whatever. It was like the Navy or something like that. I don't think it was the Army. It looked like the Navy or the Air Force or some shit. And he was there for like 4 years. And I guess he was trying to fund his rap career then. And he got kicked out for stealing or some shit like that. So basically he been doing this thing since the military and probably before that. So it's just, at the end of the day, everybody knew B2 Savage was on that finesse shit. So, at the end of the day, this shit was probably some finesse shit that went wrong, or a drug deal gone bad, or basically, this is a lesson not to let just random people in your house. You gotta watch who you fucking with and linking up with random niggas and shit and random people and shit. And random motherfuckers, because at the end of the day, you don't know what people got on their mind, and you don't know what people thinking about. They came to this man's house to rob him. He brought these men in his home, and his wife is in there, his kid is in there, his child is in there, and ultimately he's got on all his jewelry and all this money. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, why he's got on jewelry and his money's just sitting around, and the dude just having no accountability. He's having zero accountability. He's linking with random motherfuckers. He's being friends with people he don't know who the fuck they are. I guess he think this music business shit is friendly or some shit. I guess he don't understand the nature of this music business shit. Everybody seen the 5 Heartbeats. Y'all seen Big Red hanging niggas over the damn balcony. Y'all seen Big Red murk they managers just so he could take ownership of the group and promote them and manage them and make his money off them and sign them like he really wanted to. Y'all know what time it is. Like, y'all know niggas ain't fucking around. Ain't nobody playing nice with this shit. People greedy. The streets play for keeps. Y'all already know this shit ain't a game. And, at the end of the day, do I feel that the Opps feelings got hurt? Hell yeah. Do I feel that the interview may have motivated the killing of B2B Savage? Hell yeah, I do. He pretty much, he kept on, throwing salt in the wound that was still trying to heal. Them niggas didn't give a fuck about their kinfolk fucking up. They felt like since they kinfolk did wrong or right, you know how the streets gonna do. They gonna rock with their niggas. They gonna feel like, hey, and he was claiming that 5, and he was banging that shit too. He was messing with them niggas who be claiming that 5. I'm not even gonna throw that shit up. I ain't throwing up no gang signs over here. You know what I'm saying? Because nigga ain't with all that shit. But at the end of the day, y'all know what that 5 about. Y'all know what that 5 life about. He was claiming that. So he killed the gang banger. Went on a damn Vlad interview, and I guess old boy was like some OG of his hood. He means something to his hood. He probably was nobody's there, but to his people, he was somebody. And he went on a Vlad TV interview and got to get into details about how he popped the nigga and how him and his girl killed the nigga at his house doing a robbery gone bad. Now, was this about music? Was this about producing? I don't know. I don't really think it was about music. I really don't think this shit was about music. I really think this shit was some finesse and drug deal shit gone bad. So at the end of the day, it's a terrible situation that took place and unfolded. And it just goes to show how social media, how fast things happen on social media. I mean, I remember when I first saw the B2B Savage interview, I was just now watching the Vlad TV interview, and by the next day, I was already hearing dude got killed. And it confused me because I thought this nigga was still alive. I'm like, what? I just watched this nigga interview. I just watched the nigga do an interview. So when I heard the news that homie got killed, and it was like, to me, it was almost like I watched the interview and the next day this nigga was dead, man. It was a really tragic, situation that unfolded fairly quickly. So, what are my afterthoughts about it? I'm gonna say this. Let's say this. Well, first we got his mom saying that she didn't want him to post this shit, that she didn't approve of her son's lifestyle like that, but she's saying that he didn't deserve the way he got dealt with. But, the thing is like, let me think. B2B Savage mother have been quoted on social media stating, I said, take that off of social media. I said, let this family mourn in peace, but they will continue to taunt my son, telling him they were gonna kill the family and that they were gonna make his mama cry like my son made his mother cry. I told my son, don't respond, but their family member came to rob my son. So, Ward also acknowledged the unfortunate reality that now 2 mothers are grieving and the victims' children will be raised without fathers. So, she goes in and says, 2 mothers lost 2 amazing sons. I wouldn't say the other mother's son is so amazing. I mean, he did try to slaughter and murder your son and his girlfriend and his child in his house. And now that he went and spoke out about it on a Vlad TV interview, now they have came back and got retribution on your son about some shit he said in the interview. And maybe it wasn't about the interview. Maybe they was plotting this shit for 2 months. Who knows? I mean, it seems like they was, who knows? They may have just came after Buddy, right when he just so happened to drop the interview. Everything just so happened to line up. I mean, who knows? They may have been clocking him all the time. But here's what I really want to say is like B2B Savage was moving hella sloppy. He was moving hella reckless. I mean, he was linking with a lot of people and he was showing off entirely too much. I mean, like he was on the internet, he showed off all the cars, he showed off all this stuff and showed up all these jewelry. And, every time I saw B2B Savage on the internet, he had a stack of cash all the time. He always had a stack of cash sitting in his lap, looking like lick. I mean, just always got a stack of cash just sitting in his lap. So, when we look at that stuff, it's just like anybody probably would have got up on B2B and tried to rob him. I tried to take him for something. I mean, dude was hella open with it. Like he was out there with it. I mean, he was really out there with it. He was flashing before he even got famous. I mean, he was doing this before he even started, getting ran through the blogs like that. So it seemed like when he caught the body, it definitely did boost his music up and definitely did put him in a position where, people wanted to see him and wanted to interview him. Because I guarantee you Vlad would not have wasted any time or wasted any money or I would have even thought about this dude like that. And the thing about Vlad, the thing that makes Vlad wrong to me is that Vlad cut out when he talked about his music. Vlad never posted anything about B2B Savage interview that had anything to do with his music. His mom exposed Vlad TV and said that the whole interview was not about them dudes. She said the whole interview wasn't about B2B Savage killing old boy. She said the interview was about B2B basically talking about his music, talking about how he got into music and all that other shit. So, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, but rest in peace to B2B Savage, is all I really got to say about it. I mean, it's a tragic situation and unfortunately, I feel like this is going to keep repeating itself. You're going to see people getting into it on social media. You're going to hear about certain shit going on. You're going to hear about people flashing and showing off a lot of money and showing off a lot of jewelry. And then there's going to be those people who are going to try to take it from them. There's going to be a struggle. There's going to be death. Someone's going to talk about it on an interview. Then they going to get smoked. And then it's going to just keep on going. So it is what it is. It's Wizeonez Entertainment TV. It's Gigi the Plug 100K. Y'all smash up those likes. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to fuck with y'all niggas later. And I'm out.
openly talked about his involvement in a different shooting is still on the run.
Daryl Gentry is also known as BTB Savage, and he was gunned down on mid-lane near River Oaks. ABC 13's Jessica Willie is live with new details on a motive and what led police to the suspect. Jessica.
Yeah, court documents that were just made public reveal a lot of details in this case, though there was speculation. Tonight we know Houston police believe this was a retaliation murder, carefully planned payback by Montrell Burley, records say, for the fatal shooting of his friend. It is now day 5 in the search for 40-year-old Montrell Burley, the man accused of hunting down Daryl Gentry, a.k.a. rapper BTB Savage, and killing him. The brazen shooting happened on mid-lane on the border of River Oaks on March 30th. It was a violent crime scene.
And it's hard as a parent to know that your son was gunned down in the street or like a dog.
In court records made public today, Houston police lay out their case. Burley records say it was a close friend and fellow gang member of a man Gentry said his girlfriend shot in self-defense during a robbery at their home 2 months ago. Gentry was present, was injured himself, and posted selfies showing him standing in the bloody crime scene just hours before he was killed. According to the documents, police identified the suspect vehicle as a black Subaru Outback, tracked it via license plate cameras to Burley's address in New Braunfels, and discovered he had rented it. Police found a shell casing similar to what was found at the murder scene, records say, and hour-by-hour cell phone data on the day of the murder show his phone in the area at the time of the shooting in Houston. Gentry's mother says he knew someone was after him in retaliation. Someone was tracking him. He just didn't get out of town, she says, in time.
My son knew something was up. That's why he was trying to leave. When my son pulled out, he was headed to the airport to come to me because I told him, get the hell out of there. Leave right now. Don't take no clothes. Don't take nothing. Just leave, you know. And he was leaving. And that's when but he never made it to the airport because they killed him.
Now, we also know from court documents that Burley was stopped in the suspect vehicle the day after the murder. He was arrested for drug possession and taken into custody. But when Houston police started asking him about that car, records say that he asked for an attorney and ended the interview. It's not clear what happened next, how or why he was released, but we do know that Houston police did not get his cell phone's data until 6 days later. Anyone with any information on his whereabouts is urged to call Houston police. We are live tonight. Jessica Willie, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Police to the suspect. Jessica.
New tonight, the man accused of killing a rapper who openly talked about his involvement in a different shooting is still on the run.
Daryl Gentry is also known as BTB Savage, and he was gunned down on mid-lane near River Oaks. ABC 13's Jessica Willie is live with new details on a motive and what led police to the suspect. Jessica.
Yeah, court documents that were just made public reveal a lot of details in this case, though there was speculation. Tonight we know Houston police believe this was a retaliation murder, carefully planned payback by Montrell Burley, records say, for the fatal shooting of his friend. It is now day 5 in the search for 40-year-old Montrell Burley, the man accused of hunting down Daryl Gentry, a.k.a. rapper BTB Savage, and killing him. The brazen shooting happened on mid-lane on the border of River Oaks on March 30th. It was a violent crime scene.
And it's hard as a parent to know that your son was gunned down in the street or like a dog.
In court records made public today, Houston police lay out their case. Burley records say it was a close friend and fellow gang member of a man Gentry said his girlfriend shot in self-defense during a robbery at their home 2 months ago. Gentry was present, was injured himself, and posted selfies showing him standing in the bloody crime scene just hours before he was killed. According to the documents, police identified the suspect vehicle as a black Subaru Outback, tracked it via license plate cameras to Burley's address in New Braunfels, and discovered he had rented it. Police found a shell casing similar to what was found at the murder scene, records say, and hour-by-hour cell phone data on the day of the murder show his phone in the area at the time of the shooting in Houston. Gentry's mother says he knew someone was after him in retaliation. Someone was tracking him. He just didn't get out of town, she says, in time.
My son knew something was up. That's why he was trying to leave. When my son pulled out, he was headed to the airport to come to me because I told him, get the hell out of there. Leave right now. Don't take no clothes. Don't take nothing. Just leave, you know. And he was leaving. And that's when but he never made it to the airport because they killed him.
Now, we also know from court documents that Burley was stopped in the suspect vehicle the day after the murder. He was arrested for drug possession and taken into custody. But when Houston police started asking him about that car, records say that he asked for an attorney and ended the interview. It's not clear what happened next, how or why he was released, but we do know that Houston police did not get his cell phone's data until 6 days later. Anyone with any information on his whereabouts is urged to call Houston police. We're live tonight. Jessica Willey, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.